These 7 people met last night, and what they said about your personality will shock you. My beloved child, last night something extraordinary happened, something that wasn't meant to be random, and certainly wasn't meant to be ignored. 7 people, from 7 completely different walks of life, crossed paths in ways they never expected. They didn't know each other. They didn't plan to meet. And yet, every single one of them spoke your name without realizing it. Before you think this is coincidence, stay with me. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. One of them was a quiet cafe worker closing up late, exhausted, ready to go home. Another was a young artist staring at a half-finished painting, unsure if they were good enough. One was an elderly man walking his dog under the soft glow of streetlights. One was a mother folding laundry, feeling invisible. One was a businessman in his car, gripping the steering wheel, questioning his life choices. One was a college student scrolling their phone, restless and lost. And one was a woman standing alone on her balcony, whispering a wish into the night. They never met in the same room. But something connected them. Each of them felt a sudden, gentle pull to speak out loud about someone they didn't consciously know, you. The cafe worker said, "There's someone out there who always puts others first, even when no one notices. I don't know why I'm thinking about this, but they deserve to be seen." The artist whispered, "There's a soul who's carrying so much quiet strength. They don't realize how powerful their presence is. If only they knew how many lives they've already touched." The elderly man paused on the sidewalk and murmured, "Some people walk this world with kindness in their eyes. They've been through storms, yet they still choose gentleness. That kind of heart is rare." The mother folding laundry suddenly felt tears well up as she said, "There's someone who keeps going even when they feel unappreciated. Their love is deeper than they'll ever admit. I hope they don't give up." The businessman in his car exhaled and said, "There's a person who's meant for something bigger than their current life. They keep doubting themselves, but destiny hasn't forgotten them." The college student typed into their notes app, "There's someone who feels out of place, like they don't fully belong anywhere yet. But one day, they'll realize they were always meant to stand out." And the woman on the balcony whispered into the night, "There's a soul who's been waiting for a sign. I don't know who they are, but I hope they know they're not alone anymore." My beloved child, none of them knew why they said these words. None of them knew your story. None of them knew your struggles, your sacrifices, your private tears, or your silent prayers. And yet, every single one of them described your personality with astonishing accuracy. This is not chance. This is alignment. There are moments in life when unseen threads pull people into the same truth. Last night was one of those moments. The universe didn't choose loud voices. It chose ordinary people, living ordinary lives, to reflect something extraordinary about you. Here is what they all unknowingly agreed on. You are someone who carries quiet strength. You are someone who loves deeply but rarely asks for anything in return. You are someone who feels more than you show. You are someone who keeps going even when you feel unseen. You are someone who senses there is more meant for your life. And here is the part that will shock you most. Each of them felt that you are standing right at the edge of a turning point. A moment where things begin to shift. A moment where what you've been enduring in silence starts to make sense. A moment where you finally see why you had to become the person you are now. This message found you for a reason. Stay till the end. What the 7th person said next about your future is something you were never supposed to hear, but now you will. It started with a whisper in the night that no one could explain, yet somehow, it was meant for you. Don't skip this moment. Something huge is waiting for you, and the first clue is already unfolding. Last night, 7 strangers, 7 lives that should never have intersected, felt an unshakable urge to talk about someone they had never met. They didn't share a room. They didn't share a call. They didn't even share a plan. And yet, every one of them spoke about the same person. You. One was standing at a bus stop, staring into the empty street. Another was lying awake in bed, unable to sleep. One was rinsing dishes at a quiet sink. One was scrolling their phone with a restless heart. One was gazing at the city lights from a window. One was closing a notebook after writing something deeply personal. And one was sitting alone in their car, breathing slowly, thinking about life. None of them knew your name. None of them knew your face. None of them knew your story. But all of them said the same thing in different words. There's someone out there who feels like they don't quite fit into the world, but the world needs them more than they know. I keep thinking about a person who's been through so much quietly. They don't talk about it, but it shaped them into someone extraordinary. There's a soul who doubts their worth, yet carries a kindness that changes rooms without making a sound. There's someone who keeps choosing love, even when they're tired of being the strong one. They didn't realize they were describing your personality with chilling accuracy. Stay till the end, because what happened next is not coincidence. It's alignment. Each of them felt a sudden emotional surge, like they were supposed to send a message, say a prayer, make a wish, or speak out loud about this mysterious person. And every single one of them felt the same truth settle into their chest. You are standing on the edge of a transformation. They couldn't explain why they felt it. They couldn't explain why your energy felt familiar. They couldn't explain why your presence felt important. But they all agreed on one thing. You are not ordinary. You are not random. You are not forgotten. Something in the universe marked you. And the shocking part? All 7 of them said they felt you had been waiting for a sign, and that this message would find you at exactly the right moment. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you, because what the second person revealed about your hidden strength will change how you see yourself forever. The night didn't end with their words, it began a chain of moments that were quietly shaping your destiny. Don't skip. Stay with me. Something huge is waiting for you. After the 7th person spoke your truth into the night air, something unusual happened to each of them. Not dramatic. Not loud. But unmistakable. The cafe worker locked the door and found a small note on the ground that read, "You matter more than you think." They stood there for a full minute, heart racing, wondering why it felt like that message wasn't for them at all. The artist suddenly felt an urge to add one final stroke to their painting, a soft glow behind a faceless figure. When they stepped back, they whispered, "This feels like someone who hasn't realized their own light yet." The elderly man's dog stopped walking and looked up at him, tail gently wagging, as if reminding him of something precious. He smiled and said, "Whoever you are, don't lose your kindness. The world needs your kind of heart." The mother finished folding laundry and opened a message from an old friend she hadn't heard from in years. It said, "I don't know why, but I felt like checking on you. You crossed my mind." She placed her hand over her chest and whispered, "Someone out there needs to hear this too." The businessman sat in his parked car, staring at his reflection in the mirror. He suddenly felt an unexplainable respect for a stranger he'd never met. "They're braver than they know," he said softly. "And they're closer to their breakthrough than they realize." The college student closed their phone and felt a calm rush through their body. For the first time in weeks, they smiled without knowing why. "Whoever you are," they whispered, "your story isn't over. It's just getting interesting." And the woman on the balcony, she felt a warmth move through her hands, like a quiet promise. She said, "You're about to receive confirmation. A sign so clear, you won't be able to ignore it." My beloved child, none of them knew they were responding to the same invisible call. None of them knew they were all part of the same message meant for you. Here is the shocking revelation. Each of them felt that you are someone who changes the emotional atmosphere of a room just by existing. Someone who carries an energy of healing, comfort, and quiet inspiration. Someone whose presence brings peace, even when you don't say a word. They all felt that people are drawn to you for reasons you don't yet understand. That your empathy, your resilience, your depth, and your sincerity are already reshaping lives, even when you feel insignificant or overlooked. But here is the part that almost made the woman on the balcony cry. She felt that within the next chapter of your life, you will cross paths with someone who recognizes your soul immediately. Someone who mirrors your depth. Someone who sees the parts of you that others miss. Someone who arrives not to take from you, but to amplify who you already are. This isn't fantasy. This is timing. You are standing in a rare window of alignment. A moment when old cycles close and new doors quietly unlock. A moment when everything you thought was delaying you was actually preparing you. Don't skip. Stay till the end. What the seventh person suddenly realized about your purpose, something so specific it gave them chills, is coming next. And when you hear it, you will understand why this message found you now. When the clock struck exactly 11:47 p.m., the seventh person finally spoke the words that changed everything. She had been standing alone on her balcony, the city humming softly below her, when a sudden calm washed over her. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't loud. It was gentle, like a whisper meant only for her heart. And yet what she said next felt like it came from somewhere far beyond her own thoughts. She said, "There's someone out there who thinks they're behind in life. They think they missed their moment. But they're actually being prepared for a moment that's bigger than anything they imagined. Don't skip. This is where it becomes deeply personal." She closed her eyes and continued, her voice trembling slightly. "This person has been through disappointment after disappointment. They've questioned their worth. They've wondered if they're invisible to the world. But they are not invisible. They are protected. They are guided. And they are about to be revealed in a way that will surprise even them. My beloved child, she had never met you. She didn't know your name. She didn't know your story. And yet she described the exact thoughts you've been carrying in silence. Then she said something that no one else said. She whispered, this person's kindness is their superpower. Their empathy is their gift. Their resilience is their destiny. And very soon, someone important will recognize them for who they truly are. Something huge is waiting for you." She felt compelled to say one more thing, even though she didn't understand why. Tell them they're not late. Tell them they're right on time. Tell them the delay was not rejection. It was protection. Let that sink in. Every setback you thought was a failure. Every door that closed when you were ready to walk through. Every moment you felt overlooked or forgotten. It wasn't punishment. It wasn't bad luck. It wasn't because you weren't enough. It was because you were being shaped for something that required a stronger heart, a deeper soul, and a wiser spirit. And here's the revelation that stunned her into silence afterward. She suddenly felt certain that the person she was describing would hear this message. That somehow, in some impossible way, these words would reach you exactly when you needed them most. Stay till the end. What connects all 7 of them isn't just what they said about your personality, it's what they sensed about what's coming next in your life. Because all 7 felt the same thing. You are about to step into a chapter that will make your past struggles finally make sense. And you were never meant to walk into it alone.